You know how there are those things that you really want, but you don't buy because you've got these other goals that you don't want to mess up? Well, we definitely do, and we're going to tell you what they are. Hey guys, it's Joseph.
And Tasha with One Big Happy Life, and we make videos all about helping you create the life that you want. So if you're about living life on your own terms, then be sure to click that notification bell and that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. So if you're new to the channel, then you don't know that we have done videos on things you shouldn't buy, things we don't buy, and ways to save money, like all kinds of videos about that. But we're also about taking a balanced approach to personal finance. So we thought it would be fun to do a video where we share things that we want to buy, things that we kind of wish we were buying, but we aren't buying because we do have some serious financial goals that we're trying to knock out this year.
Yeah, to be fair, these are definitely on the want side because we don't need them and we have been living without them.
Yeah.
In most cases for a while.
Now, if you are curious about our financial goals, our personal goals, our business goals, we did a video about that last week. So we will drop a link to that down below and in a card up above so you can go check that one out after this one.
Okay, number one, and you might be able to guess it. This one applies to me. It's a truck. So my first car was a truck, and I haven't owned a truck since then. I was 18.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it for 2 years, between 16 and 18, and then that's it. So, gosh, those were good years. No.
No, we talk about this truck thing. I feel like it had to have been like every month since we have been together. So every month for the past like 7 years, we've been talking about Joseph and this truck. It's either a truck, and if I'm like, well, we don't really need a truck, he's like, a sports car then.
That's a great compromise.
Yeah.
Which is my second car.
So, all right. So mine, number 2, would be waxing. So I really enjoy getting waxed regularly. And it's something that I used to do a lot. It's so funny, the things that we used to do when we made so much less money, when we made less than half of what we make right now. I actually used to go to the salon and get waxed every single month, and I miss it. It's something that I would definitely do again, that I would like. I'm hoping will fit into our budget again, maybe next year. So yeah, getting waxed.
Number 3, I want a new computer. So I need a desktop. And this is kind of a business thing a little bit because, more powerful computers can edit videos and render videos faster. And that's kind of why I want it. But also,
But that makes them more expensive.
Yeah.
So getting either a laptop or a desktop that's powerful enough. I mean, we're looking at over $2,000 for one of those.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm putting the budget at about $2,500 without a monitor. So we already have monitors.
Now, technically, that is a business expense, but we're also, putting our business on a budget this year because we want to be able to actually pay ourselves something this year, which we have not really done up until now. So number 4, and this is really specific to me, is eating out. So I like to eat out. And I want to make sure that it's balanced. I used to eat out breakfast, lunch, dinner, especially on the weekends. And that can add up and be really ridiculous and take the joy and the pleasure and the specialness out of eating out. But I want us to be able to say, oh, we're going to go and eat out. We're going to go have a date night once a week. That's not unreasonable to say we're going to set aside a budget to eat out once a week, but that's going to be $400. And so right now that's just not in our budget.
Number 5, getting some help with the yard. So we have all the tools and things to take care of the yard completely on our own, but it's now becoming a big time thing. And so not everything is getting done like it should.
Yeah.
And we've hired a little bit of help from time to time in the past to do one thing. Like this fall, we hired somebody to do the leaves in the front yard. And
I wish he had done it for the backyard too, because the backyard is atrocious. Our backyard is wooded. So it is like a foot deep of, well, it used to be a foot, but the rain pressed it down, of leaves. It's insane. But running a business and working full time and having kids, we just haven't had the time to do the yard work.
Yeah, but I like to do the yard work, but it's just getting too much, and so I want to pay for it now.
Number 6, a third car. So this is something it is in our financial goals to get a third car this year because there are 3 drivers. We each have different schedules. We're going to different areas of, like we go in different directions. And so right now it's frustrating coordinating the 3 of us with 2 cars. And earlier this week, we had our first encounter with all 3 of us needing to, or me suddenly finding myself needing to go somewhere and unable to go anywhere because Joseph and Alexis were both in appointments in different places with cars. So I had no car, and Joseph came home, and I was so frustrated. And I'm like, Joseph, I don't even care. I want the car now. That be damned. And of course, he talked me off the ledge, and he's like, no, just be patient. We'll get there. It'll work out. But that's something that I'm personally struggling with kind of hard right now.
Yeah. Well, I expect that we'll get there in not too long. Maybe next year.
No, this year. This year.
Okay, number 7, some household help. So, for the same reason as the yard, we miss having a nanny. Like we really miss our nanny.
The first 2 years of Reeves' life, we had a nanny. And so we're both working parents. So we never had to get Reeves up in the morning, get him dressed, drive him to school. We never had to do any of that. The nanny just came to the house. And we did a nanny share with one of the neighbor's kids. So they would bring their kids here too. And Reeves would have playmates and stuff. But then...
I mean, there are 2 things that happens. And like initially, it was going to be a budget change.
Yeah.
And so it's cheaper to have Reeves in a school,
but our nanny passed away. So that is the number 1 reason why we don't have a nanny anymore, because she passed away unexpectedly. So yeah, that's tough. And so we miss her a lot, like every single day. She was really a part of our family, and she made our lives so much easier, and Reeves loved her and we loved her. And so, yeah. Number 8, a new sofa. So I absolutely love our living room sofa. Unfortunately, we purchased it in a different house. So it was custom made to fit in a room in a different house. And we still love that sofa here. We just, based on the layout of our living room, our sofa is a sectional, it really should be going in the other direction, and it can't. So
right now it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like it serves its purpose, which is why this is definitely not in the need category.
Yeah, it's nowhere near. It's kind of towards the bottom of this list. I think just about everything else is far more a priority than replacing something that we do enjoy, that serves its purpose.
And it has held up phenomenally well.
Yeah, it's an amazing sofa. And we would just move that sofa down to the basement. But it's just kind of like every time I'm in the living room, like, oh, I wish I could rearrange the furniture, but I can't because we have a sectional.
Number 9, a virtual assistant.
And that's for our business.
Yeah, so if you aren't familiar with the term, so this is somebody that, isn't co-located with us, so just works from their computer wherever they are in the country or world, but they do tasks to help us out, whether it be looking through emails, doing some responding to some things, scheduling things, keeping projects on track, like, good assistant things, but remotely.
Yeah, we even started interviewing people because I think a lot of people don't recognize One Big Happy Life has gotten to the point where we can't keep up with everything that we used to do. So now we used to respond to every single comment. Now we can't do that anymore. We have the blog, we have the YouTube channel, we have Facebook, we have our Facebook group, we have our YouTube students. So that is a lot of stuff. And so we really could use some help. But because we're really trying to be aggressive with our financial goals this year, we have to tighten our belts all around, which includes the business. Because if the business expenses are higher, that means less money that we can pay ourselves and use towards reaching our financial goals. So I would love to hire help.
Yeah, Tasha especially needs to be able to have some free time. It's really important that you do take breaks for yourself. And she's a little bit of a workaholic sometimes.
All the time.
And so I think an assistant would really help her take that step back because she knows, well, at least somebody's working.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Next, Me, massages. I love getting massages. It's not something that I've ever fit into my budget to where I could get monthly massages, but it's something that I aspire to because like I tend to get a lot of like back pain and neck pain, and so massages really relax me.
As she says that, I straighten up. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I don't want to get the
Stop
back
slouching.
pain.
Yeah.
Number 11, 100% organic groceries. So this is a personal goal for us because we think that organic food is like the safer bet than regular food. You get a little bit less pesticides and stuff, in theory at least. And while we do try to buy as much organic food as we can, sometimes, well, we can't find it, but also lots of times it is very expensive, especially for meats. Like produce, we're pretty good about it. But meat, gosh, it could be 3 or 4 times as expensive. And so we just haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But that's our goal. So we would want to do this.
Number 12, skincare. So right now I'm using a lot of drugstore based products, and I have started to experiment with more expensive skincare items. So I would go to Sephora and I would get samples and I would try it for a week. And I have to say, there was a drastic difference in my skin when I recently tried a whole bunch of very expensive products. And so I aspire to have the kind of budget where I can fit in those pricier skincare items while also still being able to meet my financial goals.
Okay, last one, number 13. We would really, really want to remodel our master bathroom. When we first started looking for a house out here, we both had our prioritized lists, that we're really into those. And our number one on both lists was having a good master bathroom. And so how we define good isn't necessarily like the quality of the things in it, but it's big enough to have a separate tub and shower. And then also our preference would be a separate toilet room.
And then also separate sinks, two sinks, plenty of counter space, because my toiletries will encroach. My makeup will creep all over the vanity, and Joseph hates that.
Yeah, so that was our number one goal. And then what actually happened? We don't have that. We have, a
we
basic...
We have a standard bathroom.
Yeah, and so can't even explain how exactly it is that we ended up with not getting the priority.
So this house had everything else that we were looking for. The only thing it did not have was the master bath. But what it does have is an abnormally large master bedroom that we can take some square footage out of in order to make a good sized master bath. And so one of the first things we did when we moved in here was I actually I used a floor planner and redid the floor plan in our master bedroom so we know what our dream bathroom can look like, and we're DIYers, so we've been itching to redo that master bath. It's probably going to cost somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000, and so we just haven't been able to commit to that. So the point is that after this year, we will have taken care of some really big, like the biggest financial goals. Like our emergency fund will be done. All of our debt will be gone except for our student loans, but we have plans for what we're doing with those. And so then we'll be able to start incorporating some of these things that we've been wanting, but that haven't fit into our budget. And that's why it's so important that when you budget, and hopefully you have a budget, and if you don't, onebighappylife.com/budget, that you don't just look at where you are right now. Because if you go back to our first YouTube videos and our first budget, and when we were talking in our video about our $1 billion in debt, and we were super negative net worth, and now we're positive net worth, it's like, give yourself some time. Give your budget time to allow it to fit in the things that you want. Like, so we've grown our income, we've cut expenses in certain areas. So it's just, you don't have to cut things out forever in order to reach your financial goals. And you can also see those things as like things that you can aspire to, and it can motivate you.
And it's certainly okay to work in some of your wants some of the time, especially the things that are smaller, like you hope that it becomes a habit. Well, you can do it occasionally now. And so that can keep you motivated too. Yeah. But yeah, it's lots of fun. Let us know in the comments down below kind of what your big wants are and what keeps you motivated, because we're anxious to hear that too. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.